Okay, hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever part you're watching us. Welcome today daily market analysis. I'm your host, Trader Kim. So, looking at the news or looking at the fundamentals, as it is our custom, we usually start with the looking over the fundamentals part. And today, looking at the fundamentals, we have the CPI, and the CPI is one of the events that we are going to expect it today. It's one of the events that you are going to focus on it. And talking about the CPI, we have three types of the CPIs. We have the core CPI month after month. We have the CPI month after month, and we have the CPI year after year. So I'll be interested to see something of the sort. So looking at the core CPI, you can see that the previous data we have 0.2, expecting it to be to increase from 0.2 to 0.3. So this is the data. So also we can see the CPI month after month expecting a decrease from 0.4 to 0.3. But also looking at the CPI year after year that I usually focus sana now, usually focus on a CPI year after year. So we'll be interested to look at this CPI. Will the CPI remain unchanged, or are we going to expect an increase in the actual than the forecast? So looking at this one, so we usually talk about the hotter inflation. So when talking about the hotter inflation, for instance, if we see a CPI moving from 2.9 to about 3 point something, let's talk about 3.1, I'll be expecting for a stronger DXY. And when talking about cooler inflation, we expected to see a decrease from 2.9 to maybe around 2.8. So if we see cooler inflation, we're expecting the DXY for a weaker DXY. But if we see a hotter CPI, particularly the inflation, we'll be expecting for a stronger dollar. So that's the major news that we're going to focus on it, and I'll be having this news on the New York session. The New York session will be having this event, and we are going to live stream it in our community. So another news we can check is the Fed. So today we'll be having the Fed chair be speaking. That is Jerome Powell. That is on the New York session. We'll be having Jerome Powell be speaking, and those are the two big news events that I'll be focusing on them, and I can see all of them are in New York session. So that's regarding the news or the fundamentals part. So we can dive in to check on the technicals to see what the market is presenting. Let's check on the technicals to see what the market is giving us. And going on to the technicals, we can start with the idea of as it's our custom, we can start with the idea of the DXY. Now looking at the DXY from the higher time frame, and maybe I can refresh my chart to start afresh. It is. So, and looking at the chart of the DXY, you've been seeing the DXY has been gaining. So from the Trump winning the presidency, that is on November 5th, we saw the DXY gaining. So, and from that time, we've been seeing the DXY has been in upward trend. So, and looking at this trend right now, you can see last week we had NFP, and we saw NFP came in very strong. So the NFP came in very strong. And looking at the structures, you can see the daily time frame. This is one of the region that the DXY has held that support region very well. So we can draw something of the sort. So and we can see at that region, the DXY has been held up very well by that support region. And I can see our market is above 50 MA. So talking about that region. So talking about that region, we can see that's a strong support region. I can use a different color. So we can see that's a strong support region. And we're expecting to see this market going on with further buys. But today, because we have the inflation data, the CPI, we expected to see will the CPI come in cooler or with the hotter? So, and checking the market, it is the point of interest. The market, it is the point of interest. And I will be seeing if this market will it hold for continuation of a buy on the DXY. With this DXY proceed to breaking that 50 MA. So the market where the DXY is a very critical region, and I'll be interested to see how this market be pushed by the CPI. So that's the analysis of the DXY. So the DXY will be looking to see if it will hold this support region. So that is the DXY. So coming on to the group 1 pairs, and talking about the major pairs. And the major pairs, we have the GBP USD. So talking about, we have the GBP USD. And the GBP USD, it is. And I have been seeing this market has been in a strong downward trend, because we can see the market has been making the lower lows and the low highs. It is. Market is making the lower highs and the lower lows. So we are still in a downward trend. So coming on the H1 time frame to look for the structures for us to position ourselves. H1 time frame, it is. The H1 time frame, it is. So yesterday we talked about the idea of this market coming to this region and forming an M pattern. So at this region, we tested to see short of an M pattern for us to look for the possible setups for the sell. But I'll be interested to see this market coming out of the Asian box for us to take a very low trade. So we'll be monitoring of this trade to see if we can get short of the M pattern at this region, so that we can try to look for positions to sell. And talking about the seasonality of this trade, GBP USD, we have been seeing the Bank of England cutting the rates, and you've been seeing the dollar has been gaining. So we're expecting to see some sort of the bearishness on this GBP USD, and be very interested to see this market giving us some sort of patterns for us to sell. So that's GBP USD. So talking about Euro USD. So talking about the Euro USD, we saw this market yesterday at the New York session. We saw this market going up, but we expected to see some pullbacks. We expected to see some pullbacks, but also right now we expected to see some sort of M patterns for us to look position for further sets. We expected to see some sort of pullbacks, M patterns for us to position ourselves for sales. So, and looking at these Euro US, I'm interested to see something of the sort. So I'm interested to see something of the sort. So the market spiking to that region. So I see the market has come to the 13 EMA. I have the crossover 13 and 200 EMA. I'll be expecting to see something of the sort. So expecting to see something of the sort. So whenever you see this market coming out of the Asian range, is where I'll be interested for me to look for the setups. So that is a Euro US. So looking at another one pairs, we have UD USD. It is. And UD USD, yesterday we talked about this trade has been headed up by the EMAs, and we talked about the idea of this trading coming out of this consolidation. So we talked about the idea of this market coming out of this range. And for this one also is one of the trade that we are monitoring, expecting to give us some sort of a pattern to look for the physical set. Also checking on NZD-USD. Checking also NZD-USD. Still one of the trade, still it is in our watch list. And yesterday we talked about the idea of this trade coming to form an M pattern, this region. We saw the market coming to the neckline. So the market coming to the neckline at this region. So, but we cautioned yesterday because of the EMAs. So we saw the market being between the EMAs, and whenever we see the market between the EMAs, we should try as much as possible to do the good risk management. So looking at this trade, I'm still expecting for the set of opportunities, and these are NZD-USD. If you can get a sort of M pattern at this region, something of the sort, we're looking for the setups to sell. all the way to the previous lows. So that is the group 1 pairs. So looking at group 2 pairs, we have the USD Swiss, that is the USD CHF. And looking at this pair, I can use our Trade Central. It is the Trade Central. So for us, we're very interested to see this market going further for buys. Expecting to see this trade going further buys. Looking at the metrics for the DXY, right now we are bullish on the DXY, and we talked about this trade coming on the way to the previous highs. You can remember the other day we talked about this idea of these trades coming on the way to the previous highs, where we have this trade central mark at that region. We expected to see this market coming to that region, and we've been seeing this trade has been making the higher highs, the higher lows. So you can see this pair has been a bullish momentum. You can see this trade has been a bullish momentum. So, and you can see that's a strong uptrend. That's a strong uptrend. Higher highs, the higher lows, the higher highs, and higher lows. We saw the market coming to this region, and we talked about this market going above 50 MA. It will be tested to look for the buy opportunities. And you can see the market has gone very well. And you can see the trade has proceeded very well. And looking at this trade on the lower time frame, that is on the H1 time frame, so we're expecting to see these some pullbacks to these 50 MA for us to position ourselves for further buys. That is on our USD. We are very bullish on this trade. Very bullish on this trade. At the time we gave the trade, you can see it was about, right now the trade has moved to about 100 pips. So it's about 100 pips, 120 pips. So it was a nice very trade for a swing trade. So another trade we can check is USD CAD. So checking on the USD CAD, is one of also our trade that we are monitoring very keenly. So it's one of the trade that we are monitoring very keenly for us to position ourselves for a buy. And we talked the idea of this trade closing above 50 MA to consider for buy setups. But also for me, this is one of the trades that I will be entering with the dollar cost average. So this is one of the trade that yesterday I entered with the idea of the dollar cost average. So I've been interested to see this trade coming all the way to the highs. I've been interested to see this market coming all the way to the highs. And looking also the DXY, looking at about the DXY, we're very bullish on the DXY, but you can see coming to the lower time frame is a sort of a consolidation of this region. Is a sort of a consolidation this region. So, and the good thing, the market has come to the lows. So this is where I'm interested to add more position for a buys, so that I can hold that trade for buys all the way to the previous highs. So it's a trade that I'm watching to it very keenly to see if this trade will go the way to the previous highs. So it's one of the trades that I'm very bullish on it. So that is a dollar CAD. So looking at another pair is USD JPY. And I've talked about this one of the pair that we are going to trade it in a very thin way, because we can see the gain is gaining, and also we can see the dollar is gaining. So we usually see, whenever we see the two economies are gaining, we usually see laggishness in the market. Usually I see a lot of laggishness in the market. So for us, we'll be interested to see if this market will come to the key reversal regions for us to look for the opportunities to short these NPS. But this is one of the special currency that we said is one of the currency that we are going to trade it in a different way than the other NPS. So, but for this one, I'd be interested to see if this market will come to the key reversal region, that is 800 EMA, for the opportunities to sell. So, looking at the group 3 pairs, we have the GPPs, and we can start with the GPP-UD. And also looking at the GPP-UD, you can see this trade, we are seeing some pullbacks, and I'd be interested to see some pullbacks coming all the way to the 200 EMA for us to check for the opportunities to sell. So we'll be seeing this 200 EMA is where we'll be interested for us to look for the reversal candlesticks for us to look for sets. Now talking about the GPP card also, this was one of the trade still which is on our watch list, and I'll be interested to see this market coming to the 200 EMA and to check for the possible setups for assess. So we are very bearish on these pairs. So we're very bearish on these GPP pairs. I'm expected to see some sort of reversal patterns at the 200 EMA and the 800 EMA. So another pair we can check is GPP NZ, and also the GPP NZ is still one of the pair that we are still on a downward trend. We're still bearish on these pairs, and looking at this pair on the lower time frame, we just have to see if this market hold at this region. Let me highlight this region. So here we have this region. So we just have to see we just have to see we can get a confirmation of a candlestick at that region. Here we have that order block, and we can see the market is coming to give us some sort of a pattern. So that region is where we just have to see some reversal candlestick for herself. So that is a GPP NZ. So another pair we can check is a GPP CHF. And talking about the GPP CHF from higher time frame, is one of our trade that we talked earlier. This one of the trade that we are going to trade it with demand and supply. We are going to trade it with the demand and supply, and we can see this trade is approaching at 800 EMA, and we tested to see some sort of M patterns for us to look opportunities for us. But also, as usually say, whenever the market is at consolidation, we try as much as possible to avoid trading that pair. So another pair we can check is the euros, and the euros we have the euro card. Allow me to start with the euro card. Here it is. And talking about the euro card, you can see yesterday saw this market breaking 50 EMA. So our next universal region for us to look for the opportunity to sell, we just had to see this market coming at the 200 EMA. So at the 200 EMA, we will be interested to see for us to check for the opportunities to sell. So at this region, so it'll be interested for us to check for the sales opportunities. So and another trade we can check is Euro AUD. It is Euro AUD. You can see the trade has broken 50 EMA. So these trades, we're expecting to get some pullbacks. So if we get some pullbacks to the 50 EMA, we're expected to see this market coming all the way to the 200 EMA. That is on a H1 time frame, to see if we can get some possible opportunities to short this pair. So if you get like because right now you can see we are getting some break, and if you get some returns at this region, we can check for a small buy related to this region, and check for opportunities for our sales long term. So that is a Euro AUD. Another pair we can check is Euro CHF. That way we can check Euro CHF, and you can see this Euro CHF, looking at it from the higher time frame. Looking at it from the lower time frame, so you can see the market is trying to give us some sort of M patterns, and this is one of the pair also that you're very keen to see how the market move. And we can see yesterday we saw this market moving in high momentum. We saw the market buying massively, and for us we'll be tempted to see some sort of reversals, so that we can check for the sell opportunities on the Euro CHF. So that is the Euro CHF, and we just have to see this market coming out of the Asian box to see if we can get some sort of bearishness to sell all the way to the 200 EMA. So that is a Euro CHF. Another pair we can check is the JPYs, and the JPYs, you can start with the GPP JPY. Now the GPP JPY higher time frame, we're seeing some pullbacks. So this is one of the trade that I'd be interested to see coming all the way to the 50 EMA to look for the possible setups for sales. And when coming on the H1 time frame at the 800 EMA, it's going to be interested for us to check for the sell opportunities. So the 800 EMA is going to be interested to see some sell pressure, and I'll be looking for the opportunities to sell. So another pair we can check is Euro JPY. Now you can see this one of the trades that yesterday we saw these markets popping higher, and what we're seeing some pullbacks. We can get some pullbacks so that the 800 EMA, that region is very interested for us to check for the sale opportunities. And looking at the yen pairs, so particularly looking at the Japan is gaining, as we expecting the Bank of Japan to increase their rates. So another trade we can check is the CHF JPY, and also checking at the CHF JPY, I'd be interested to see some sort of M patterns at that region, so that we can check for the opportunities to look for sales. So another pair we can check is the CAD JPY. At the CAD JPY, you can see you get some sort of M patterns at that region at the 800 EMA is where be tested for us to check for the sales opportunities. So another pair we can check is metals. Another trade we can check is the metals. And talking about the metals, we have gold. We have this gold, and this gold, looking at it from the higher time frame, you can see that the gold has been gaining, and the gold has been buying. So we can see that gold came and broke the previous high. So, and what we are seeing right now, we are seeing some sort of the pullbacks. We can get a pullbacks all the way to this region. I can expect to see some bullishness at this region. So at this point, whenever you see some pullbacks to the previous high, it's very tested for us to look for the swing trade. But also, not all the time the market will come to retest that previous highs. So, but looking at the gold right now, you can see looking at the metrics, the gold right now is very bullish. Gold right now is very bullish. So when coming to look at it on the lower time frame, you can see that the gold has been forming the structures. And looking at this one of the trades that I entered in the morning with the idea of this structure. So I'll be interested to see some break above 50 MA to proceed on with the buying of the gold all the way to the previous highs. So we'll be interested to see some sort of the break retest to add more position for a buy on gold trade. So, and we talked about yesterday this gold or the metals. We're very bullish on them. We're very bullish on them because we can see the big boys, particularly the investment banks, you can see also the hedge funds. They are very bullish on gold, and also looking at the COT filings, they are very bullish on gold. And we're looking for the setups for buys. Another trade you can check is silver. And silver, yesterday I took a trade at this region. Yesterday I took a trade as it is at this region, and expecting for more bullishness on this silver trade. So this region is where I took my buy position, and I'll be expecting some sort of break and a retest, break and retest, break and retest all the way to the previous highs. And talking about the previous highs of the daily time frame, it is so at this region, so we are interested to see the trade proceeding all the way to that region. But also at this region, you can see there's a lot of resistance. So we expected to see some sort of break and a resistance for me to add more position for a buy. So if see some sort of a break and a resistance in that region to add more position for a buy. So that is it on the metals. So looking at the stock indices, we have the Nasdaq, and we talked the idea of these trades coming and breaking the previous highs. So we talked the idea of this trade coming and breaking the previous highs for us to consider this trade for the buys. So at that region, it's very interested to see some sort of a break. So that region. So, but right now, we're very neutral on these crypto. These are basically the stock indices. And also looking at the S&P 500, was still speculating for a break above. Still expecting for a break above the highs to look for the positions to buy. For the position to buy. So that region will be expecting a break above and a retest to look for the opportunities to buy. So another trade we can check is use that also. And for this one also I'll be expecting for a break above the high. Expecting some break above the high, the retest. So to look for the possible setups for buys. So that is it on the stock. Just looking at the cryptos, we have the Bitcoin, and you can see the Bitcoin has been held up by the 50 MA Bitcoin trade will use. And I can see that the Bitcoin trade, this region has been held up by this 50 MA. So we can see that the trade is trying hard to break above 50 MA, but we can see that the trade has been held up by that 50 MA. So, and for this one, we try to see some break above 50 MA to look for the opportunities for buy, and when the market is below 50 MA. So we try to see a break above 50, and it is for the further buys all the way to the previous size. So looking also on the oil. So on the oil, it is the oil. So yesterday we talked about the idea of this oil coming to this region, testing at this region to look for the possible setups for a sell. So I'm interested to look for the opportunities to sell on the oil price. I'm interested to see some sort of reversal patterns for me to enter that trade for a sell. So that is it on the oil. That is it on the oil prices. So I'm expected to see some sort of sales for me to add position for a sell. So that's the analysis of the today. That's the analysis of the today. So disclaimer: this is not a financial advice, but for educational purposes, you must do your due diligence and use the proper risk management. So see you tomorrow at the same time and the same place. Bye bye.